Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Chris.
Can you introduce about yourself and also Modern Terminals?
Okay. Thank you for having me here today. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer for Modern Terminals. Being the Chief Information Officer, I head the IT department, but also lead and induce any types of innovation within the company. Modern Terminals is a company that runs and operates container terminals here in both Hong Kong and southern China. And we basically help ocean vessels as they berth their vessels to the Hong Kong port, handle all the portside activities for them.
So apparently Modern Terminal is a leading player in this industry. Can you let us know more about your company's mission in coming years?
Okay. Ultimately, we are a very customer-centric company. Our main focus is to provide value-added services to our customers, the container lines, and also then to ensure that the whole port ecosystem in Hong Kong works collaboratively. That's our fundamental mission, is to improve all the sea trade logistics in Hong Kong.
So can you tell us a little bit more around the industry, about the ecosystem, how this ecosystem is operating around Hong Kong and even regional?
The container port is the central piece of all sea trade logistics activities. So we match up all the requirements of the ocean carrying vessels coming into port, and then linking the activities needed, what we call inland, which is basically truck side going up into the inner country or inner areas of Hong Kong. And then also in Hong Kong's case, we have a barge movement of containers in and out of Hong Kong through southern China. So the container port here in Hong Kong, we are the central piece of all of that, and we coordinate and manage all the activities for the containers going in and out of Hong Kong.
So what kind of new innovation is happening in this industry, specifically in Modern Terminals?
Well, I think one of the biggest changes that the whole industry is undergoing is digitization. As I mentioned before, because we are central to all the activity that happens for the trade on the seaside level, we act as not only the coordinator, but also to help manage the efficiency of the entire chain. The whole industry is moving towards digitization in the sense of we are a very traditional industry. A lot of our workflow is still manual, paper-based. And so by digitizing this, we can not only connect the ocean-going vessels to the land sides, as I said before, but as we move inland, it also starts setting up the port to support any kind of what we would call a smart port perspective, and then it would start moving into connecting with smart city concepts around the world.
Yeah, this is a great initiative. What actually this smart port means to achieve at the end?
A smart port has fundamentally two layers. One is what I mentioned before, a digital layer, which is digitizing the transactions across all the players within the smart port or within the port ecosystem. The other part of the smart port is also it allows us to work the container terminal, the portside operations more intelligently. So we can introduce elements of, say, IoT into our equipment so that we can track the progress of the equipment and the containers as they move through the terminal. And then also, there's a very interesting point right now where a lot of our players in the industry are looking at potentially using blockchain to then link up all of these transactions in a more secured manner. So all of these then, the IoT, blockchain, and then the cloud platform allowing for the collaboration, that all put together becomes what we would perceive as a smart port.
So from a business perspective, I think you talk about lots of new technology you are going to embrace. So from business perspective, so are you going to improve your customer experience at the end?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the smart port leads to a better customer experience for the users of our port. Digitization, the processes, improves the efficiency for everyone. We are a very asset-heavy industry. So we have a lot of container cranes for both the seaside operation and also a yard. And the more we can utilize this equipment more efficiently, the better value we can provide to our customers. And all of this then leads to fundamentally for our customers shorter stays in the container terminal, whether it's vessel side or even truck turnaround times coming into our terminal. The more efficiently these players can move in and out of our terminal, the more value it creates for everyone in the whole supply chain.
So you talk about like customer experience improvement. Who are the actual customer to modern terminals?
That's a very good question. In fact, one of these questions we continually ask ourselves. Traditionally, our customers from the port or the terminal perspective has been the ocean carrier shipping lines. But if you think about it, the reality is anyone who uses our port and our terminal kind of services, they are our customers. So the more we are looking at it, it's more of an ecosystem of customers of the ocean carrier lines to the barge operators that come in and out of Hong Kong and southern China, and the container trucks, the trucks that carry the containers across the border or into Hong Kong. But also the ultimate cargo owners, so the shippers or the 3PLs, they would want to know what is happening to their cargo as it moves through our port. So we've been broadening our horizon to look at the whole customer ecosystem as all of these players and not just a single party within that.
I think it is not easy to make such kind of a transformation by your own, right? So what is your observation around the whole ecosystem, the whole industry perceiving to improve the whole customer experience improvement?
Yeah. I would answer that in two ways, right, or two layers. Globally, the whole industry is moving towards digitization, and you see a lot of these companies coming together in alliances, whether on a contractual operating commercial alignment. But what we're seeing now in the recent years is there actually alliances are being formed to help digitize the whole trade within the world. And so, like I said before, mentioning Hong Kong as a smaller ecosystem, globally it's happening the same way too. It's moving towards digital trade on the ocean side. And in Hong Kong, being a very unique market here around this port services, we recently formed an alliance here in Hong Kong where 4 of the 5 terminal operators in Hong Kong came together to form what we call the Hong Kong Seaport Alliance. It used to be that we would be competitors with each other within Hong Kong, but we realized the true nature of the port industry, it is really a whole port ecosystem or a whole port competing with other ports around the region and not so much inside of Hong Kong ourselves. So we came together to form this alliance to fundamentally operate the Hong Kong port as a single port ecosystem. And this way we can provide a much better value proposition to the users of Hong Kong.
Yeah. So this is a huge step in the whole industry, right? So what, like from the technology perspective, what AWS and also technology role to play to really help you to achieve the ultimate goal at the end?
So I would say before we touch on the technology, I think the key part is the business side too, right? So coming together as a Seaport Alliance, we provide a single service or product to the community. By doing so, not only is it a more better customer experience, but also we are able to eliminate a lot of inefficiencies within a disparate ecosystem. And so just some examples, we can manage our berthside facilities as a whole unit of Hong Kong. We can manage our equipment in Hong Kong as a whole unit. Collectively, centrally. All of this ultimately leads to a better service to the users of the port. But we can only do so with technology, like you said. So partnering with firms with like AWS allows us to use these platforms that are fundamentally designed to support a collaborative working environment. So your cloud platform services allow all the players to go to one platform to work. The IoTs and the big data is involved, and the blockchain, as I mentioned, potentially involved, all connect this ecosystem together. So we fundamentally see the technology as a crucial part of what we are trying to achieve here in Hong Kong, and it's actually happening around the world also.
Yeah, so this is a great achievement, and this is a great story around a really transformation story. I think thank you very much for joining us and share with us this transformation journey. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.